Welcome to next lecture of compiler design, that is of elimination of left recursion and introduction to parsing. I am Dr. Parul Yadav, assistant professor at the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Institute of Engineering and Technology, Lucknow. So, first topic of today's class is elimination of left recursion. So, a grammar is left recursive if it has a non-terminal a such that there is a derivation a derives in one or more steps a alpha for some strings alpha. Mean grammar is like this, a to a alpha or beta, right. So, in this grammar on left hand side of production we have capital A, and on right hand side leftmost symbol is again capital A. So, such grammars are called as left recursive grammar. So, if we will have such grammar, then what will happen mean if we construct the parse tree. So, A to suppose expansion is like A to A alpha, and then suppose again A alpha and then again 2 alpha. So, the tree will expand towards the left, and finally we can expand it with beta using the second alternate, but the tree is growing towards the left, and such grammars are not good or not suitable for parsing purpose or for the top down parsers. So, we need to eliminate left recursion from the grammar. So, we will discuss the process step by step. First, we will see the immediate left recursion, elimination of immediate left recursion. Suppose we have the grammar like A to A alpha and beta. So, and this is the eliminated version or eliminated version after removing left recursion. So, how we will get it? A to A alpha and beta, this is the alternate that is beginning with capital A, and suppose this is the alternate that is not beginning with capital A. So, we will take this alternate capital B. Now, capital beta or alpha, they are strings of grammar symbols, and now this beta is concatenated with A prime, the new non-terminal. Now, we will write rules for A prime. So, it will be after A we have alpha. So, we will write here alpha and then concat with it A prime, and then we will introduce a new alternate that is for epsilon. So, this is the version where we have eliminated left recursion, and the same thing, because here we are doing this transformation, then language accepted by this grammar and language accepted by this grammar will be the same. So, we can see over here, suppose I am drawing the parse tree for this, then it will be like A alpha and then A alpha and so on, and finally it will be expanded to beta, and here we will start from A to beta A prime, right, and then A prime to alpha A prime and then to alpha A prime and up to certain level, and finally we can expand it with the second alternate of A prime, that is epsilon, right, epsilon. So, what we are observing, that it is producing, suppose beta alpha is to the power n for some n, and it is also beta alpha is to the power n for some n, where n is greater than or equal to 1, all right. So, this is the method for removing immediate left recursion. Now, production can be of this shape also, where A production is like there are certain alternates that are beginning with capital A, and there are certain alternates that are not beginning with capital A, right, but where no beta I begins with an capital A, all right. So, now we will look at the alternates. First, we will take the alternates that are not beginning with capital A. So, we will rewrite the grammar, this is capital A. Now, we will take the alternates, all alternates that are not beginning with capital A. So, we will write all these alternates beta 1, beta 2 up to beta n. Now, after every alternate, we will attach or we will concat a new non-terminal A prime. So, this is A prime, and we will concat A prime after every beta I, beta A prime here, A prime here and A prime here. Now, we will write the rule for A prime. So, how we will write? Here we will look at the alternates that are beginning with A. After A we have string of grammar symbol alpha 1, alpha 2 up to alpha m. So, we will take alpha 1, alpha 2 up to alpha m and attach A prime, concat A prime after every alternate, and do not forget to add this epsilon. So, this is the next transformed version where we have eliminated left recursion. Now, in the while we are discussing left recursion, then there can be indirect left recursion also. So, there is algorithm for doing this conversion. Here I will not explain this algorithm, rather I will apply this algorithm on one example. So, we will understand the algorithm on this example. Here the grammar is two non-terminals are there, S to AA, B, A to AC, SD and epsilon, two productions are there, and here we will try to eliminate left recursion and using the algorithm. So, in the algorithm there are certain assumptions or certain requirements. This is that algorithm for the grammar should not have productions, should not have any cycles or null production. It means the grammar or algo will not work for the grammar that has cycles. Cycles mean production like this, A derives in one or more steps A, right, meaning certain derivation step if we are getting this, or A to epsilon. So, first if it is so, then first we will eliminate cycles and null production from the grammar and then we will apply the algorithm. Now, in this grammar again we are seeing that there is production A to epsilon, but here what we are observing that technically the algorithm is not guaranteed to work because of null production, but in this case the production A to epsilon turns out to be harmless. So, here we are applying the algorithm without eliminating. Now, we have this grammar and now we will see the steps. Now, first step of it, to order the non-terminals. In the grammar non-terminals are capital S and A. So, we will order it, mean just like this, suppose here this is S and here we have A, 1 and 2, right, two non-terminals are there. Order mean first order pe first index pe S is or second index we have 2. Now, we will execute this loop for I is equal to 1 to n is the number of non-terminals over here. So, we have only 2 non-terminals. So, it will execute for I is equal to 1 and 2. Now, first is for I is equal to 1. So, here there is no immediate left recursion among S productions. So, nothing happens during the outer loop. So, actually what we do over here, at I is equal to 1, non-terminal is capital S, and at the capital S, this is the point, here we will try to find out indirect left recursion due to the non-terminals that are appearing before S. So, before S there is no non-terminal. So, no further expansion is possible or now further substitution is possible at this stage. So, it will be more clear in second iteration. So, here we will have the same S to AA and B. Now, when next we will increase the value of I and then it will be 2. For I is equal to 2, non-terminal is capital A. So, we will look at A productions. Now, we will see the non-terminals before it. So, before A there is non-terminal capital S. Now, we will see is there any indirect left recursion due to the non-terminals coming before capital S. So, here capital A. So, before capital A there is capital S and we can check it, A to AC, this is first alternate. Second alternate is SD. We can substitute in place of S, we can substitute its alternate. So, just substitute it, if we will substitute we will get A, D, and again if we substitute in place of S B we will get B, D and epsilon. And yes, what we are observing that after substitution we are getting indirect left recursion due to the alternates of capital S. If we are substituting capital S here, right. So, for I is equal to 2 we substitute S in A to SD. into A2SD, and what we will get after substitution, we will get A2 new production set, A2 it will be AC, next it will be SD, and in place of S we will put its alternate, so it will be A and D, and next will be BD, and next is epsilon as it is. Now we will eliminate, and this we will do for all values of I, and here we will stop this step. Now we will eliminate immediate left recursion among these A productions using the same rule जो हमने पहले पढ़ा था. Now here we have immediate left recursion. So here A2 this is a production, these are the alternates that are beginning with capital A, and these are the alternates that are not beginning with capital A. So we will rewrite A productions, it will be A2 we will start from the alternates that are beginning with capital, that are not beginning with capital A, they are BD, and this is epsilon. Now we will introduce a new non-terminal, let it be A prime, and we will concat A prime after every alternate. So it will be BD A prime and it will be A prime. Now we will write the rules for A prime. So after A we have C, here after A we have AD. So we will take the alternates C and we will concat it with A prime, then next is AD, we will concat it with A prime and then epsilon. So this will be the A productions or A prime production, and the final answer or final conversion will be we will write S production as it is S2AA or B, then we will write A productions are BD A prime and A prime, and then we will write A prime production, it will be C A prime, AD A prime and epsilon, right. So this is our answer, and here we have eliminated left recursion from the given grammar. Why we have eliminated? Because such grammars are not suitable for top down parsing. Now we will look at another example and we will try to remove left recursion again. Now in this example there are two non-terminals. It is so first we will see, is there any left recursion in this production? So S2, this is beginning with terminal, this is beginning with terminal. So no left recursion over is there. So we can rewrite this production as it is S2 opening parenthesis L and closing parenthesis and A. And now we will write the L production. So in L production we will look at, is there any indirect left recursion or direct left recursion. So first we will look at the indirect left recursion. If there is possibility of having indirect left recursion, that we will apply the algorithm, otherwise we will use a simple rule. So here we have L2, LS and S, in place of S we will put this and this, then there will be no chance of getting indirect left recursion. So we will go with this only L2, LS and S. Now here we can say that this is the alternate that is beginning with L and this is the alternate that is not beginning with L. So we will apply our rule L2, next is S, and suppose new non-terminal is L prime. So here we can concat L prime. Now we can write the rule for L prime. It will be, now we will look at the alternate that is beginning with L, and just after L we have S. So here we will write S and then L prime, and we will not forget to add epsilon, right. So this will be our converted grammar after removal of left recursion, after left recursion. So this is all about removal of left recursion. Now we will discuss the next topic, that is parsing. So parsing, first we will see the placing of parser or parsing. So we know in compiler the first phase of compiler is lexical analyzer. Input to lexical analyzer is source program, and lexical analyzer will scan the source program, it will find the lexeme, it will produce the tokens, and tokens will be sent to parser, and parser will consume the token, it will request the lexical analyzer to produce the next token, then it will give the token to parser, again it will consume it, then it will require a lexical analyzer to produce next token, and in that way parser will get token, right, and these tokens will be consumed by the parse tree and parser, and parser will obtain the parse tree for it after imposing grammatical structure, after checking the grammatical structure of the token. It will check whether the grouping of tokens is grammatically correct or not. So, for checking it inside the parser, it will be using the grammars. Suppose for programming language, for most of the programming languages, context free grammar is sufficient. So, suppose it is having context free grammar and accepting device PD inside it, and using the grammar it will produce the parse tree, and that will be input to the remaining phases of compiler, and that will produce the intermediate representation, and finally the synthesis phase will be producing the final target code. Now, this is what the that we are giving some input to the compiler, or this is the whole program we can say, and if it is grammatically correct, then parse tree will be produced, and if it is not grammatically correct, then error handler routine will prompt the user the appropriate informative error message, so that the user can take the corrective measures, and the program can be improved, and after doing the improvement in the program, again the program will be sent to the parser, mean after doing the, of course after doing the lexical analysis. So, a parser for grammar G is a program that takes as input a string W and produces as output either the parse tree for W if W is sentence of capital G, or an error message indicating that W is not the sentence of capital G. So, this is a program that takes as input string W or the tokens, and it will produce an output parse tree. This is the most simplest representation. If you will study the semantic analyzer, you will find that parser is doing producing other representations also, but here we will see that it is producing the parse tree. If it is not grammatically correct, mean composition, or if we are to arrange, if we are arranging the tokens and the arrangement of token is not grammatically correct, then it will prompt the error message. So, there are two types of parser, one is a top down parser and second is the bottom up parser. So, top down parser mean we know that in the parser, suppose we are getting the parse tree. So, it is just like this is the parse tree, right, and here suppose we have leaves node. So, in top down parsing, we start the construction of parse tree from the root of the tree, and we start from the start symbol of the grammar, and we end at the leaves node, where leaves node will be marked by the terminals of the grammar. Now, in bottom up parsing, we start from the leaves. We start from the leaves or the terminals, and we start, then we do the reductions, and finally we end at the start symbol of the grammar. So, in both the things we are doing the derivation obtaining the parse tree, but the approach is different. Here we are starting from the start symbol and ending at the instance, and here we are starting with the sentence or stance of the string of terminals, and we are ending at the start symbol of the grammar. Examples for top down parser are just like predictive parser or recursive descent parser. Examples of bottom up parsing is they are just like shift reduce parser. So, we will discuss both the parser in details, and there are further algorithms. So, here we have the broad idea. One more parser is there, that is a universal parser. That is not in our syllabus actually, but we have universal parser. This can parse any category of grammar, and but these parser are inefficient. In our syllabus, we will focus on these two parser, top down parser and bottom up parser. So, first is the top down parsing. I have already told it can be viewed as constructing a parse tree for the input string starting from the root and creating the nodes of the parse tree in pre-order or depth first. Now, it can be viewed as finding the leftmost derivation for an input string. So, here we will obtain leftmost derivation for input string. Now, we will see one example. Suppose we have this grammar E2 T E prime 2 plus T E prime or epsilon, T2 F T prime 2 multiplication F T prime and epsilon, and F2 opening parenthesis E closing parenthesis and ID, and instance is this one, right. Now, here we will just broadly understand the parsing, right. So, we will construct the parse tree for this instance. So, we will start from start symbol of the grammar, that is capital E. Now, to get this instance, E should be expanded with T E prime, and in every step we will obtain the leftmost derivation. Now, this T is this one, and T should be expanded with F T prime. Now, F should be expanded with ID using production F2 ID. So, we are obtaining leftmost derivation, but we are directly drawing the parse tree using the top down approach. Next is, here we have T prime, and T prime has two alternates, this one and this one. Here we need to get plus. So, T prime should be expanded to epsilon. Now, next is E prime 2 plus T E prime. So, E prime should be expanded to plus, then T, and then E prime. So, till here we have obtained ID and plus. Next focus is on ID, multiplication ID. Now, T has only one alternate, that is F T prime, and F should be expanded with alternate production F2 ID. So, here we will have F2 ID. Now, T prime has two alternates. Now, we should use the first alternate for T prime, that is multiplication F and T prime. Now, F should be expanded with the second alternate, that is ID, and T prime should be expanded with alternate, that is epsilon. So, here if we look at the leaf node, what we are getting, ID, then plus, then ID, then multiplication and ID, and epsilon it will be the reflexive case, that ID epsilon will give you ID only. So, ID plus ID multiplication ID. So, this is the idea for top down parsing, and when we are doing the parsing, the focus is on we need to find which production should we apply, right. So, if we know at every stage that we should use this production, that we will be able to do the parsing. So, parsing, we know it is of two types, top down parsing and bottom up parsing, and in both the parsing we should know the logic for implementation construct, right. We know how to draw the parse tree, so we draw the parse tree as per our knowledge, but we need to implement this construct, we need to train our system, we need to write algorithm for this construct, right. So, we need to write a program that can select particular production, means suppose this is the input symbol, this is the input symbol, and this is the whole set of productions, then we need to write some program that can take the decision, okay, at this particular point this particular production should be used. So, the key problem is to select the production, right, and then to do the matching part. So, in every step of top down parser, the key problem is that determining the production to be applied for non-terminal say A. So, if we know the production, then we can easily do the expansion and can obtain the parse tree. So, we need to determine the production, we need to find some logic that can select the production. Once A production is chosen, then rest of the parsing process consists of matching of the terminal symbol in the production with the body of the input string. So, once we have selected the production, in next step we will do just the matching part for with respect to the terminal symbol that we are obtaining in derivation, as well as with the symbol that we are getting in input tape. So, we will do the matching. If it is matched, then we can say that somewhat we have selected the correct choice. Now, we are just converging ourselves towards the top down parsing, and top down parsing there are two methods basically, recursive descent parsing and predictive parsing. These two are the examples of top down parsing. So, methods. So, in recursive descent parsing, we do the parsing again in both we do from top to bottom. In recursive descent parsing, backtracking is may require, backtracking may be there, while in predictive parser no backtracking is required. So, this is here actually we have one table, and that is called as predictive parser, table for predictive parser, and this table help us to take the correct, select the correct choice. So, in predictive parser this table will help us to select the production, and then in the input table we will look at the symbols, and then we will suppose at the sentential form we will look at the input symbol, terminal symbol over here and a symbol in the input tape, and then we will do the matching part. So, here suppose we are seeing only one symbol at a time, one symbol ahead. So, we can say we are talking about LL1 grammar. LL1 mean this L stands for scanning input string from left to right. Second L stands for obtaining leftmost derivation, and 1 stands for looking at one symbol ahead of the input tape. So, we will focus on LL1 grammar. Now, next is recursive descent parsing. So, recursive descent parsing, here backtracking may be required. I will explain left recursive descent parsing using one example. Suppose we have this grammar S to CAD, A to AB or A, it has its own algorithm, but I will explain the algo using this example, and W is CAD, right. So, in this parsing, the thing is we know the key problem to select the production and then to do the matching. So, the initial approach that we apply is that we will select the productions one by one. So, first we have S productions, we will start from here, and S production has one alternate, that is CAD. So, we will expand S with CAD. So, here input string is W is equal to C small a and D, alright. Now, we will start, input pointer will point to first symbol C, and here the first production is S. So, we will start with S, and S has its first alternate as CAD, and this C is matching, we can expand it with this alternate, and we will get small c, capital A and D. Now, we will look at this sentential form, and the terminal is small c, and here we have small c. So, this is the matching part, and because it is matched, so we will advance our input pointer one cell to right, and now it is pointing to small a. Now, we will go to this, here we have non-terminal, that is capital A. Now, we will go to A productions, and we will apply the alternates one by one. So, first alternate is this, that is also beginning with input symbol A. So, we will apply this alternate, and this A should be expanded with first alternate as per the rule, because we apply alternates in sequence. So, this is A and B. After applying, the next symbol is A and input symbol is A. So, again this is matched, because this is matched. So, we will advance our input pointer one cell to right, and here we have D, and here we again we have terminal. So, we will do its matching with it, and when we will do the matching, we will find this is B and this is D, they are not matched. So, backtracking will be required. So, here we use this alternate, we will do the backtracking, we will apply the next alternate for A. So, input string is CAD, and here because of backtracking, input pointer will retrack to one cell left. So, again it will point to this cell, and here because we backtrack, so it will be S to CAD, and here we will apply the next alternate for A, that is a small a, and here we have A and here we have A, this is matched. So, we will advance input pointer one cell to right, and here we have D and this terminal symbol is D and here it is matched. So, in this way we are doing the parsing using recursive descent parser, where the string is obtained, and backtracking may be done over here. Suppose after applying A also it is not matched, then we will go back to S production. If it is no further alternate, then we can announce that this is invalid input. So, this is about the recursive descent parsing. So, in today's class we discussed elimination of left recursion, brief about parsing, brief about top down parsing, and then in detail recursive descent parser with example. Thank you.